Hey, shit just got real. Shit just got real. All right. So I'm in Yonkers, you mean, and I just come home from being in these institutions from the age of 7 to 14. You mean, and this guy, Reddy Ron, I mean, he was like an older brother to me. And he would rap and I would do the beatbox. And I looked up to him like an older brother, you know what I'm saying? I love this guy like an older brother, because I don't have any brothers. And man, I would beatbox, he would rap, and then he suggested one time, he said, you know what? Why don't you, write a couple of rhymes and they'll act as a beatbox for you? You know what I'm saying? We can like trade places. I was like, okay, that makes sense. And I remember, I remember went upstairs, taking a piss, and that's where my first rhyme came to me. You know what I'm saying? And referring to incidents occurring in past times when the beats of my profession, I had no rhymes with the daytime change, and so do I will. That's when I remember journey up the MC hill to make my first step forward to leave behind my past. As I put my future first, everything else last. First rhyme was unacceptable, but that's what changed by taking parts of words, but then rearranging. It was like a story, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause that's what it was back then. And man, this guy, and I could tell by his response that it was a dope rhyme. I'm like, okay, so we work at it like that. But this guy, man, he introduced me to what would be the best part of my life, which would be the rap. But he also, the theme of my life is blessed with the curse. And the curse aspect of it was, like I said, I didn't smoke cigarettes, I didn't smoke weed, I didn't do anything. I'm 14 years old, and me and my man should do a robbery one night, and it was his birthday, and we came back, and we split the money. I said, hey, take this, go get something nice for your birthday, whatever. So he came back with a blunt rolled up, and as I'm counting the money, he likes the blunt. And I said, I was impressed. I don't really smoke, nigga, fuck out of here. And he passed the blunt around, and wow. And I hit the blunt, and I'm like, I was no longer focused on the money. I never felt like this. Like it just fucked me up. I'm like, the fuck. And I later found out that he laced the blunt with crack. My thing. Why would you do that to a child?
Right.
And this nigga like 30, you know what I'm saying? And he knew how I looked up to him. Yeah. He knew how I looked up to him, you know what I'm saying? And like, why would you do that to somebody who looks up to you like this? I mean,
take your time, brother.
A monster was born. A monster was born. I mean, and like I wouldn't do that to my worst enemy. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. I mean, like I said, especially to someone that you supposedly love.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Right.
I put that in one of my songs called Pain. I smoked crack at 14 for the first time. Give it to me by a nigga that I idolize. My love is real. But after that, what I saw in his eyes was a snake, and who I love was just a disguise. So the person that I loved was a snake. He acted like he was a good person. You know what I'm saying? He acted like he loved me. But,
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, I didn't, we wanted to talk a little bit later about, about addiction and about pathologies. And
all right. So that is the story right there of how DMX first got introduced to crack. I think in that clip, he said that the guy was about 30 and he was 14. And that was all she wrote. He said he looked up to him and, remember, we read his bio on Wikipedia, and there were some people that were commenting that we don't know if DMX was abused. Yes, he was abused. His mother, who had her first child at 17 and a bunch of stillborns after DMX, she abused him. Her boyfriends abused him to the point that they knocked his teeth out. He was roaming around the streets trying to find himself as a young child. He was in and out of group homes. And when he got out of the last group home at 14, he met this older guy. I forget the name. He mentioned it in there. And you heard that he was running with this dude. They were rapping. He introduced him to rap. DMX obviously had rap skills. The guy was beatboxing. I'm sorry, DMX was beatboxing and the guy was rapping over the beat. And you heard him say that they went to do some robberies. And while they were supposed to be counting up the money, the guy went and he was like passing around this blunt. And he was like, I ain't want it, because he wasn't into blunts and all of that. And the guy was real pressed about him trying it. And he said he tried it and he was just like, he wasn't even worried about the money anymore. He'd never felt a feeling like that before. So let's give the intros. Hello, Knockout. I'm Tanya TKO. I am a self-love specialist from TanyaTKO.com. I help you learn how to love yourselves and one another. On this channel, we use viral video topics as teachable moments for what self-love or self-abuse looks like in our own lives. And in this video, DMX gave the very tragic story of how he was first introduced to crack. As we know, he became an amazing star, but he also battled these internal demons of addiction and other things that were never healed and may not have really ever fully been addressed. He appeared on Ayanla Fix My Life a few years ago, in which he let it be known that he was estranged from his son. If you want, you can look at the last video that we did, because we showed footage from the Ayanla episode. We showed footage of him meeting up with his son. You could see his jerky movements and mannerisms, and he actually ended up storming out of the session with Ayanla after throwing some curse words her way. And it was just a tormented show of how a person can be addicted to a substance and really mean well, not be able to articulate, have contradictory articulations, and just habits and behaviors that go against what it is that they say that they want and who it is that they are. He did express in the Ayanla interview that he was fine if he died, that he had lived his life and had done amazing things, and everybody has to die sometimes. He said he was not willing to live a life without some sort of intoxicant or stimulant. He said that God was with him when he snorted his first line of coke. He said that God has been blessing him, and that's why he's had so much in his life. It was revealed that at this moment, he, even after selling, I believe it is 740 million albums or downloads, that he is now struggling in the hospital with less than $1 million left. And it's just, people are already coming out with conspiracy theories about what may have happened or transpired, but he was an addict. Sometimes we have to come to grips with the fact that sometimes people have issues and things happen in their lives, just like they happen in anybody else's life. Just like it happened to your uncle in the 80s, just like it happened to your mother in the 90s, or your auntie in the 70s. You know, it's like these things happen, just like it may be happening to some of you. So if you are addicted to something and you need help, search online for the thing that you're addicted to. I've been to AA meetings before. They're friendly, they're welcoming, they're healing. And I suggest that you give it a try. Call one of the hotlines and find resources in your area to be able to help you with what it is that you are dealing with right now. We're going to jump out of this video. I just wanted you all to just see this story. It was so painful to see him choked up like that. And it's painful to see his jerky body movements. Laron says, my uncle was the hustler in the 80s and 90s and turned into the addict. It happened to a lot of our family members. You know, cocaine was something that was glamorous in the 70s, but everybody couldn't afford cocaine. But they found a way that, people could be able to have that disco nights high without the disco nights money. And a lot of people ended up getting ravaged by the drug, crack cocaine. And DMX was one of those people, introduced when his brain was still forming by a man who knew better. And goodness knows what that man was going through in his life. Goodness knows what DMX's mother was going through when she decided to abuse him and let him be abused. It's like these vicious cycles continue to perpetuate. And there has to come a time where the buck stops here, where we say no more. We are willing to do the work and invest in ourselves to the point that we stop the, if you want to call it generational trauma, where we stop the perpetuated patterns, habits, and the things that are not serving us, the things that didn't serve the people before us, and the things that are no longer serving us. So I appreciate all of you for coming out. It's 11:11 on the minute timer, and I'm going to see if anybody left me any messages while I'm on air, and then we're going to jump out of here. Okay, there are no messages that were left. And so we're going to jump out of here. I implore you to leave your comments below. I implore you to do a search online for a hotline or an agency that can assist you with what it is that you're dealing with, because life is short. And when you're at the end of it, speaking of at the end, we just heard that DMX is breathing on his own, that he was taken off of the life support machine. So he may be able to make his way onto the other side of this. So continue to send the positive vibrations to him. However, when he comes out of this situation, what will his life be? What is it that you're exchanging the days of your life for? Because as you get one day closer to death, what is it that the bulk of your life will have been made of because of the days that you exchange one day of your life for the activities of that day? Will you make the activities worth it? Will you make the activities indicative of the choice for the life that you want to live? And on that note, I will see you in the next video. Tanya TKO, and I'm out. Go out there and love one another. Most importantly, what? That's right, love yourself. And part of loving yourself is not giving up on yourself, giving yourself that unconditional love. The unconditional love that you wish you could find someplace else. Start with giving it to yourself. Love yourself unconditionally enough that no matter how many times you fall down, that you continue to get back up. No matter how difficult it may be, that you continue to put one foot in front of the other. And that actually is one of the affirmations from my book. That's one of my favorite affirmations. And I ended the book off with this: keep moving. Just keep putting one foot in front of the other. This book of affirmations is life-changing, and it's available on my website. Autographed copies right now. It's only $20, and you get the autograph for free. TanyaTKO.com. Click on shop and get your copy of this book today. Read the reviews on Amazon. Read the reviews on my website. The book is life-changing. This, accompanied with psychotherapy or counseling or even life coaching, put together, it's an amazing tool to be able to shift your life into the direction that you want it to be. And on that note, I am out. Tanya TKO. Peace.